What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday night edition of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Thank you for popping in tonight. Hey, Heidi. Good to see you. Wow, Super Bowl Sunday. I really don't expect a lot of people to watch. No, not at all. But you know what? That's okay. I got my people. Whoever wants to sit in and watch, tell your friends about it and bring it on in. Don't forget, this Sunday coming up on the 16th of February, I am going to have, watching as I'm watching. Good job, Heidi. This Sunday coming up, February 16th, I'm going to have the cast of Paranormal Pittsburgh. That show that you have done on that you watched the other past couple weeks. They're going to be on, and we're going to sit down and have a chat with them. Tell your people, tell your friends, that they're going to be coming on. It's been a long time since I have talked to them. A little chit chat here and there, but that's about it. But I'm really looking forward to next Sunday. So tonight is open mic, and whatever you want to talk about, whatever is on your mind that you need to get off your chest, or you want to talk about if you see or have you heard about it, or saw any kind of green people or little fairies or little crazy stuff. River Rose, good evening to see you. Joe Fox, good to see you. Man, my heart is smiling now. Got all my peeps in the chat room now, and I truly appreciate it. So, whatever's on your mind, feel free to speak up. I mean, we'll talk about it, But before, someone, as a questioner just wants to talk about a topic of some sort, I'm just like, hey, Squatsman, good to see you. Good to see you. This past month and a half, I've been talking a lot about the paranormal, having paranormal. Yeah, go Eagles, babe. We don't have to, LOL. But what we did talk about, I had a lot of shows on the paranormal, invited people over to be on the show. I'm lost for words because I'm so happy that all my peeps are in. But I don't know. It seems like I'm getting the urge to go back out there and investigate again. But I won't have Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. I'll just do it on my own or with a bunch of other people. Whoever wants to go. Right now the weather's kind of cold and really don't want to go out into the cold because my body aches. Arthritis kicking in, all that good stuff an old person goes from. 24-0 Eagles. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, yes, it is a script, Heidi. The football game is a script. And I don't know, but I chose to be here with you guys tonight and just keep popping up them scores and that score, and I'll be happier and happier than a Blue Jay. Yes, we'll say that. Happier than a Blue Jay. But it seems like paranormal's in the news again. There's a lot of people out there that I have been chatting with, okay? And it seems like there is a lot of weird stuff happening around them, okay? And these are people that have dealt with the paranormal before, that had paranormal experiences, okay? And, I was talking with my friend last night, and I'm telling you what, there is something in the air that's going on in the universe, and I just can't put a finger on it. It's just like some really weird vibes going out there. Now, a lot of people, that I did not talk to, but I've heard on a couple other podcasts, were saying maybe it's because Trump won. I'm not going to get into the politics here. Whoa, Heidi says, everyone found out the Swiftie is really the reincarnated daughter of the founder of the Church of Satan. Really? Really, Heidi? That's interesting. I read something like that, or I saw something on YouTube about that. But, it's hard to believe what you see. But, I think I read a headline where she said that she's a witch. I don't know. But with Heidi saying people find out she's the reincarnated daughter of the founder of the Church of Satan, maybe that's the reason why she wears a lot of red dresses out there. Okay, Heidi looked into that rabbit hole, and it's awfully coincidental. Okay. But who knows if she is or not? Maybe she had, let's just say for shits and giggles tonight, and maybe she is, and maybe she isn't, but for just to throw it out there. If that is a little truth behind it, man, no wonder everybody's following her. And if it is true, what a way to bring people into the occult. And that's not good. That's not good. I'm not here. This is just hearsay. It's not, I'm not judging anybody. I'm not saying she is or she isn't, you know. But, you know, I live by my motto, though. It's that I will respect what you believe. Hey, Mr. Wojo, good to see you. How's the Bigfoot business going on, Mr. Wojo? What's the business? How's Bigfoot coming along? But if, you know, I cannot judge her, you know. But we're just going to have to let it go at that. But people, you seriously need to be careful out there. Heidi says, that isn't my intention either, to judge or say false info, just a rabbit hole I entered. Wow. You know what? The rabbit holes are hard to get out of because I've been through so many rabbit holes for different situations and certain different things. Okay. All right. I'll be waiting for your call, buddy. Mr. Wojo's in the house, and him and Richie B, top-notch Bigfoot hunters. Okay. All right, River. We'll see what River has to say. River says, I went for a walk today just around the block to the gas station, and for the second time, a dog got out and followed me as I walked home. And I found the owners by luck. Nobody wanted to help the dog because it was a pit bull. But this is the second time on 3 days this happened. And I just thought how odd I feel, like everything feels odd. It's a strange feeling in the universe, I agree. If this happens a third time, I'm going to think something is really up. It's so hard to explain. Is it possible, River, is it very possible that spirit or whatever energy's out there in the universe is sending you this pit bull to protect you? Very much. It could possibility be, you know. Like an animal totem, you know, like how wolves, you got wolves like I do, or ravens, or whatever animal that you got. Maybe this pit bull here is to protect you. And I would think that's a good thing. I mean, so he got out, but he hasn't hurt you. You know, and now, see, that would be like a rabbit hole to go through to see what it's all about. And I've been to a lot of those with different situations in my life, and I call them signs. Young girls really love Taylor Swift. They should do. Heidi says, I don't seek out this info either. It's all on my feed. And Michelle said, that's frightening. And Squatchman said, I got some new stuff from Benny. Oh, really? The juvenile I've been following for 6 years. River says, maybe Sean, you are right. It's just weird how it always finds me at a gas station. Maybe, you know, they do say that spirits, angels come in all different forms. And I guess the dog knows that you're going to go there, or the dog already, you know, foresees you going there. That's a kind of interesting story, though, River, honestly. That would be pretty interesting. Heidi says, love the sign, synchronicities, River. Yeah, I mean, think it is a sign. And I think it's a good sign. And I'm sure, River, if you really look closely around your surroundings when you're out doing a walk, there's a lot more things out there, I believe, that are watching you. Like when you go to a store. All of a sudden you feel like there's like a million eyes looking upon you. I get that at work a lot. Does anybody else feel that way? That people are just watching you? I mean, I'd be at work, cutting some meat, and then I'd wrap it and put it out in the case, right? And I get out there, and it just seems like all these laser beams, all these eyes just stare at me and give me an ugly face. Give me the shitty grins and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, okay, who are you? But it got, now see, a long time ago that would bother me. It really would. And then again, Heidi says, I dump people if I don't have to. True. Heidi says, I enjoy putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. I used to a long time, but I tell you what, it gave me ulcers. It gave me headaches, it gave me migraines, it gave me ulcers. And that's funny that you brought that up, because for the longest time, back in 1983, oh, okay, River says the dog's name is Bambi, a brittle pit bull. I got to learn this today and talk to the owners, who are 2 full blocks away. When I told them this is the second time she has walked with me, they looked surprised. River, you do know you have a good aura around you, right? And dogs really look for that. When the stray dogs, or any kind of strays, or any type of animal comes up to you, they sense the aura around you. They sense your energy. And a lot of dogs, cats, birds, whoever, whatever, they're attracted to that. And I'll tell you why, because they really do believe that your energy that you are releasing, they feel safe around you. Because you do have a kind heart, and you do care for people, and you do care for animals. And they can sense that. They can feel that. A lot of dogs come up to me, and the owners are crazy because they thought they were going to chew my hand off, and they would just just like sit there and wag their tail, and I give them some treats. Heidi says all the synchronicities messages, put those together to form a bigger message. That frequency vibration, animals feel that. I agree, Sean. Yes, they do. They really do. I remember one time I was in a meditation. A long time, when I really got into the meditation, I actually, would go out to this park, and it's called South Park. And I would go out there, and then I would meditate. And I think the coolest thing ever happened to me out there when I was in the meditation was when I came out. There was a mother raccoon with 3 or 4 babies looking at me. And that's the truth. They just were looking at me. And it kind of blew my mind. And when I did meditate, and when I learned how to make all the meditation that I would do, it would have to do with animals. Heidi says, see who's on halftime. Oh, you don't. Oh, they are all connected. Yes, they are. Yes, babies, Sean. Yes, babies. Little baby raccoons with the mom. It was so cute, too. But it kind of blew my mind. And at the time, I was just learning how to meditate. And I really had to go to my teachers and find out, what the hell is all about that? And my teachers who taught me about these were, it's just they were following your aura. They were following your energy. And that's why I think with you, River, honestly, you have beautiful energy. I quit thinking of, now as time went on and signs like this would happen, I would just like say thank you and move on. Because when I would dive into a rabbit hole, I'd never came out. River says, ye should have seen my face when I got to get to the gas station. There she was waiting. And the moment I arrived, she is happy. So maybe you are right. Her owners seem a bit cold, whereas the dog is very loving, at least with me. And the fence he jumps over is a 6-foot fence. I also have a stray tabby cat that always sits on my porch. I track everything. LOL. And that's okay. And that's okay, River. Where you know that you give a pit bull and you get a tabby out there that knows that they are safe around you, I consider that a miracle, to be honest with you. I really do. I believe it. I believe it. That's a miracle for you. And sure, if you want to dive deep into a rabbit hole with it, go for it, But may I make a suggestion, River? Is there's a book out there. Oh, you're welcome, River. I speak truth. I never lie. But there's a book out there, River, that is called Animal Speak. Okay. And what you could do is get that book. It's called Animal Speak. I forget the name of the author, but this author took every animal out there, and he actually took the animal and he would write what that animal is all about. It's like your totems, like the tabby and the pit bull. Maybe they're part of your totem. And that's okay. Just like the crow. Me and Heidi talk about it. The crows or the ravens. They're always around me, always. Maybe usually 1 to 3 of them are always around me. In fact, when I go to work in the morning and I park my car, they sit on the lamppost. And all of a sudden they start call. And I know for a fact what they were doing. They're saying, good morning, Sean. Because I could sense that they were saying that. And I would say, good morning to you, have a wonderful day, and then I'd go into work. But they were always there in the morning. River says, I love crows. I talk to them. So do I. It's okay to talk to crows. But the secret behind that is what you need to do is clear your mind after you talk to them. And just clear your mind, River. Clear it. And listen to the little voice in the back of your head. It's not your subconscious. It's actually the animals, the birds, whoever is talking back to you. And they're giving you the message. And that's the truth. For the longest time at the beginning, when I would hear that little voice in the back of my head, I was always taught that it was my subconscious. But the more I grew into the spiritual realm, into the spiritual field, I knew it wasn't my subconscious. And I knew it wasn't my brain thinking, okay, this is what it's saying. No, I just closed everything down and just listened for the words. And the words came. The words came. And they gave me the message. And when I get the message that they are to send me, then, and only then will they fly away. But they always seem to come around. Thank you, Matt Barron. Good to see you, pal. Thank you for sharing it. Yep, ravens and the squirrels come right up to my feet, and the praying mantis grasshopper. You know what? Praying mantises, Heidi, they scare the living crap out of me. You know what I mean? They scare the crap. I had a pretty bad experience with a praying mantis. I was in my apartment, and there was one in my apartment at all times, and I'm laying on the couch, and all of a sudden it decided to jump from my curtains and land right on my chest. And from that time on, I just had some really bad. I I had a lot of trauma with the praying mantises. Blue jays and the little songbirds every day too. The ravens are so comical. They are, and I believe, Heidi, I believe that they do put a show on for us to keep us amused. You know, just to keep us on our toes. The owls and the hawks are so knowledgeable, ancient wisdom. And I have a story to share to you guys about the hawks. Um, I am honestly scared of all insects. Yes, no jumpers. I know. But let me tell you about the hawks. I was working down at Giant Eagle, down in this little store down in the valley. It was called Brighton Road. And the day before I actually left that to go to another store, um, there were like 3 hawks that circled me. And everybody on the smoke break with me was saying, Sean, look at the 3 hawks up there. And I said, and they said to me, they're circling you. And I didn't think much of it. And then I kept looking up, and I got not paranoid, but I was a little, it was kind of like intrigued why they were flying around me because there were other people there. So I moved from where I was smoking a cigarette all the way out into the middle of the parking lot, and the hawks were circling me out in the middle of the parking lot. I don't know what the message was about. I was closed-minded at the time, so I don't know. But there were 3 hawks, red-tailed hawks. And the wolf and the red-tailed hawk are my major animal totems. River says, maybe the animals are around me because I am going through a lot. Yes. I am now caring for my mom who just had a stroke. Mike, I'm sorry to hear that. We have nurses and physical therapy coming to the house, and my daily 30-minute walks to clear my mind are always with an animal. So maybe it is a sign. Yeah, you need, oh wow, it just popped into my mind. Think about it, right? You take care of your mom all day, okay? And then when you do your 30-minute walk, these animals are put into your life so they can take care of you. Think about it. Think about that, River, honestly. Maybe they're there just to be there with you and to take care of you. But they take care of you in a certain way, knowing that they know you're hurting and they know you're tired and they know what you're going through. And that's why they're there, you know. Heidi, I do too. They would, until I find them. They will steer you down and make you feel uncomfortable. I have an eagle, hawk, and owl feather. I found them all. Awesome, Michelle. Sweet. Sweet. Just be careful but you have to be careful on that eagle feather, okay, Michelle, because you're not allowed to have those in the United States. You can get into a lot of trouble. I would read up on that. Be careful. You're really not allowed to possess an eagle feather. The only people who could actually possess an eagle feather are Native Americans. Yes. Please, Michelle, look into that. If you have that eagle feather. Heidi says the hawks will stare you down. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they will. And on my porch, I sit there all the time in the summertime. And there was one hawk that would just come down and sit on the wires and look at me. And he'd look at me, and it was this one, and we talked back and forth, and there were times he didn't want to talk, and there were times I didn't want to talk. But I showed respect to that hawk. Okay, I showed him respect. Treated him like a person, really. I didn't try to swoosh him away, or I didn't try to do this, or I didn't try to do that, something bad. I gave him respect, and I let him sit there. So one day I'm going to work, and then, a couple mornings afterwards, I'm going to work, right? Guess what I find on my car? A dead mouse. No lie. A dead mouse. And I really okay, there's a dead mouse right where my windshield wipers are at. And like, And then I heard the hawk in the distance. I did. And then I just said, thank you. The mouse was a present for me from the hawk. Now, you all might be thinking I'm crazy, when I tell stuff like this. But I'm not. It's the different signs that come to me, especially from the animals. And it just feels so good. Now, like spring's coming up, and summer. We have so many damn rabbits in my backyard. I live 1 mile away from Pittsburgh, from the city of Pittsburgh. And where I live is 1 square mile. Okay. I think I got more rabbits in my backyard than they do anywhere else. 'Cause sometimes I see about 10, 12 of them just hopping in my yard. And know what's crazy about rabbits, though? Oh my gosh, you don't even know they're there. This is the truth. Especially after you cut your grass. You get out of your car, you're coming out of your house. You don't even notice that they're there. They're crazy. It's crazy. It's like they're hiding from you, The only time I get to see them is when they make a move. Let me see. Heidi says, the hawks will stare you down. Yes. Native Americans, yes. Hell no, I don't think anything you would say is crazy. Why, thank you, Heidi. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, I share a lot. That's okay. Yes, bunnies are everywhere, and a rabbit hole can go deep. Yes, it can. But I enjoy the little bunny rabbits. I do. I really enjoy the rabbits. I think they're kind of funny. I look at a pet rabbit, and they're like huge. They're like humongous. And then I see, wild rabbits, and they're skinny. It's like, wow. And another interesting thing that happened to me in my backyard was this past summer, I was actually, I plant, I do a garden. I plant a garden, just tomatoes, beans, whatever I feel like planting. And my neighbor next to me, it was like in dawn, like early in the morning with the sun coming up. And he takes his dog out to go to the bathroom. Sheena, she's crazy. I love her. She's a great little dog. But he took a picture on his phone, and it was a doe standing on my what the hell, my park pad for my car. A big doe. Yes. So that doe could be, then again, you start thinking, why is that doe there? And then you go and you research what the doe's all about. And then you go and find out, why is that doe with you? Why is that doe in my house, in my yard? And I mean, it could take you every which way to figure out why that doe is there. And in the long run, if you look at it, maybe she was there to steal my tomato plants. Eat my tomatoes. Thank you, Heidi. I appreciate it. Heidi says, I'm grateful for you sharing. Thank you. But maybe the deer was there to eat. Didn't even think about it that too much. And then I live close to the park. In this 1 square mile, we got 2 schools, we got a swimming pool, we got a big park. I was coming home from an investigation one night, or one morning, and there was two 8-point bucks right there at the beginning of the park. And I was like, should I get out of my car? Should I get out of my car? And then they looked at me. And I opened up my mind and I said, okay. They just wanted to say hello. And they went. Okay. River says, hawks are amazing creatures. I got to get one to dance with me when I lived in Florida. It sat on a pole while I put my arms out and moved. He moved with me. And then the next day he sat on the fence by my back porch and put his wing out. It was so close to me, just fully stretched out, staring at me. It was amazing. I just wished him a blessed day, and he flew away. Thank you very much for sharing that there, River. Thank you. That's really sweet. And when you wished him a happy day, he flew away. Maybe the hawk needed to hear that. I hope you say have a happy day to the pitty, and to that little tabby, Animals do have feelings. They do. You can't tell me no different, But I'm going to take like a 70-second break, maybe a minute break here, and then I'll come back. And please stick around for a while, all right? I surely appreciate your company, and I'm glad I got all my beautiful peeps in the chat room tonight. So I'll be back in about 70 seconds, okay? Who can we play today? We'll go.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiestro, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
Hey, welcome back everybody to the second part of the show, Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. This is a Sunday night edition. I also have a Tuesday night show into the night. Same time, same platform, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. On UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi, either or, whichever one you want to talk about. Upcoming this February 16th, this Sunday, I am going to have the cast of Paranormal Pittsburgh. They're the cast members that when we went up to Gettysburg, that you saw the video the last couple of weeks. They're going to be on the show, and tell everybody. Feel free to ask some questions. Hey, Steve, good to see you. It should be fun. It will be fun. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really seriously looking forward to that. I don't know. But in the first half, we were talking about River was experiencing a lot of things with different types of animals, a pit bull, a tabby cat, and Heidi was sharing about her animal instincts. I said that wrong, but a lot of animals are attracted to you, and I believe right before I went into the break, I said animals do have feelings, and I do believe that. And I do believe animals need a caring heart and a sharing heart. Someone to make them feel good. I've heard that dogs and cats are the best thing for a human being because they always love you. They always want to look after you. And River, certainly. I believe when you were just saying that, you were dancing with a hawk, it needed to hear what you had to say to it, to tell him that you had, for him having an amazing day. And whenever I do go to work or whenever I'm out and about, whatever, whenever I see an animal, whenever I see an animal, I write it down. And then when I get home, I Google the spiritual meaning of it. Remember a long time ago when I first started this show, I would draw 3 cards from the animal deck, the animal spirit group deck. And I always told you, go Google what the animals were. Mr. Wojo says animals may be wild, but they have feelings. They sure do. And I guarantee it, and I'd take this to the bank and I'd sell the house on this, Mr. Wojo, that I do believe that Bigfoot have feelings too. I believe that. But I want to share this one story with you. We got about 7, 8 minutes left of the show, but I have to share this with you, and I want to know if anybody else ever experienced this. See, when I really started to meditate, okay, yes, I do, Mr. Wojo, yes, I do. And you can find Richie B, Bantering with Richie B and Mr. Wojo, Saturday nights, 6 p.m. on their channel. Wojo, if you want to put that in the chat room here, where people can find you on Saturday nights, you and Richie B. And I'll just read what you say there, so the other people can hear. My memory ain't so good anymore, but I want to share this story with you, and I think it's kind of interesting. It blew me away. It blew me away. There's my brother Patrick. Heidi, there's Patrick. He says younger brothers are the best. I don't know. Of course, my little brother's pretty cool. Okay, Mr. Wojo says their show, 6 p.m. Saturday nights, is called Bantering with Richie B Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So if you want to listen to an awesome podcast with Richie B and Mr. Wojo and they talk about Bigfoot, that's the place to go, Then we had Squatchman on earlier, who's a very, very good Bigfoot investigator. In fact, I have to talk to him soon because I might bring him back on the show because he said that he got some interesting things that he, from the juvenile that he's been following. Michelle says it's bantering with Richie B, and she says they rock. Yes, they do rock. They're good people. But this story I'm going to share with you is a true story. So I was in meditation. I went out to South Park, and the weather was like 86, 87 degrees. And no rain in sight. It didn't rain that day. In fact, there was a little breeze going. And so instead of sitting on the park bench where I meditated, I decided to sit underneath a tree and meditate. And so I'm there meditating, and all of a sudden I feel like raindrops on my skin. And I'm thinking, oh, hell, it's raining. I came out of my meditation, and I'm thinking it's raining. When I came out, the sun was shining, the wind was blowing, everything was really cool. And then I found another raindrop fall on my arm, 2 or 3 of them. And I have no doubt in my mind, and I will take this to the bank and sell my house. But that tree was literally crying tears. It really was. Call me nuts. But to me, and when I opened up my gifts, or whatever you want to call them, that's the first thing that came to my mind was that the tree was crying. I don't know if anybody ever experienced something like that before. But those are the little synchronicities, what Heidi says. Stuff like that. They're signs. And they're signs to open up our minds. Open up my mind. And yes, go into the rabbit hole every now and then. And, it's crazy whenever something like that happens, okay? Whenever something happens like that, it's like, okay, why me? I used to say that a lot. Why me? Why can I go? Why me? Why do you let me go and deal with bad spirits? Why do you let me go and deal with this bad situation? And I always said, why me? But now I don't say why me no more. I just accept whatever's supposed to happen at the time that it's supposed to happen. Then I just go along with it. Michelle says, Heidi says, so I'm back, had my hands wet cleaning a little fishy tank. Oh, okay. I hope the fish is alive. I kill fish. No matter how good I clean a tank, and every time I get a fish, they die. Even the bettas. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not good with animals. I mean, raising fish. I'm not sure. Michelle said, that's the first thing I thought. The tree is weeping. Then she says, you are connecting with the tree. That's awesome. I guess I was, but at that time when I was doing it, I never thought that I could actually connect with a tree. So, if I can give each one of you guys, especially you, Mr. Wojo, when you go out Bigfoot hunting and you're out in the woods, or if you see any type of tree, an old one preferably, like, this is just a little exercise that you could do. I do it all the time. I go up to the tree and I put my left hand on the tree. And I close my eyes and clear my mind. And I listen for the message that the tree tells me. Because it's all connected. I mean, if you really want to go down a rabbit hole, and I told you that the tree is part of Mother Earth, I'm sure she's giving you the message through that tree. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mother Earth does exist. Thanks, Steve. Mr. Wojo. Please tell me when you do that, just tell me what happened and what you felt. Just have an open mind, dude. Everybody, if you want to do that little exercise, just have an open mind, and go with it, and see, and make sure, whatever you hear, write it down, and then when you go back out in the woods again, and you go to another tree, do the same thing, and whatever that tree tells you, write it down. Remember, that little voice you hear in the back of your head is not your subconscious mind. It is the thing that you are talking to or dealing with at that very time. So we are at the witching hour. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight into the chat rooms. It was so nice to see everybody, and I don't know, I just feel happy. This Tuesday coming up, I'm not sure what I want to have for a topic or whatever, but we're going to have something going on. But please, I better do it. Tuesday nights from 9:10 to 10:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my dear friend C.L. Thomas, who has the Gateway podcast, please go watch her show, listen to her show, because she has some awesome guests that come on. She's a good person. Give her a lot of support. Heidi says, thank you, Sean. Heart. Always enjoy these combos. I do too, Heidi. I enjoy them too. Whenever I have guests on for a while, it's like, maybe they need to hear me. Or maybe I need to hear it myself. I don't know. But children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have nobody, if you have no children, if you have no parents, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And on that note, good night. See you Tuesday night.